What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Finance Unlocked. If this is your first time here, I'm the guy who tells you the financial truth that nobody else will, even when it pisses people off. And today's video is gonna make your parents mad, your realtor furious, and half the internet want to argue with me in the comments. Because I'm about to tell you why buying a house in 2026 might be the single dumbest financial decision you can make. Yeah, I said it. Now, before you click away thinking I'm insane, just hear me out for the next 8 minutes, because the math I'm about to show you could literally save you $500,000. So if you're ready for some real talk, smash that like button and let's dive in. Alright, so here's what everyone tells you your entire life. Buy a house, build equity, stop throwing money away on rent. It's the American dream. Your parents say it. Your uncle says it at Thanksgiving. That friend who just bought a house won't shut up about it. It's basically financial gospel in America. But here's what nobody tells you. That $400,000 house everyone's pushing you to buy. You're not actually paying $400,000 for it. At today's 7% interest rate on a 30-year mortgage, you know what you're really paying? $957,000. Let me say that again, because it's insane. For a $400,000 house, you'll pay $957,000 over 30 years. That's $557,000 in pure interest. You're literally paying more in interest than the house actually costs. More money to the bank than to the actual building. But wait, because it gets so much worse, see? That's just the mortgage payment. We haven't even talked about all the other costs yet. Property taxes in Texas, $12,000 per year. That's $1,000 a month. California, lower percentage, but your house costs $1 million. So same problem. Homeowners insurance, $1,500 to $3,000 per year if you're lucky. Live in Florida? After all the hurricanes, good luck. You're looking at $8,000 to $10,000 per year just for insurance. Maintenance costs. Financial experts say budget 1% to 2% of your home value every year. On a $400K house, that's $4,000 to $8,000 annually. Your roof needs replacing every 20 years, $15,000 to $30,000. HVAC system, every 15 years, $10 to $15 grand. Water heater dies, $2,000 every 10 years. Oh, and if you bought in a neighborhood with an HOA, add another $200 to $500 per month, so someone can tell you what color your mailbox is allowed to be. So let me add this all up for you. Your real monthly cost of owning that $400,000 house. Mortgage payment, $2,661. Property taxes, $1,000. Insurance, $200. Maintenance savings, $400. HOA fees, $200. That's $4,461 every single month. For 30 years. But I'm building equity. I can already hear you saying. Okay, let's talk about that. You know what they don't tell you about building equity. In your first year of payments of that $2,600 monthly mortgage payment, only $328 actually goes toward owning the house. The rest, pure interest to the bank. You're basically renting money from the bank at an insane markup. After 5 years of making payments, you've paid $160,000 total. Guess how much equity you actually have? $30,000. The bank kept $130,000 in interest payments. You paid the bank 4 times more than you paid toward actually owning your house. And here's where it gets really painful. Let's talk about opportunity cost. That $80,000 down payment you just handed over to buy the house. If you had invested that money in the S&P 500 stock index instead, at the historical average return of about 10% per year, you know what it becomes in 30 years? $1.4 million. $1.4 million. You just gave up over $1 million in potential wealth to put a down payment on a house that might not even appreciate much. But my house will go up in value, you're thinking? Maybe. Historically, home prices appreciate about 3 to 4% per year. The stock market? About 10% annually. And when you factor in all those costs I just mentioned, your actual return on home ownership is often close to zero. Some years, it's negative. Now let's talk about something nobody mentions: being completely trapped. You buy a house. 3 months later, you get an incredible job offer in another state. Double your current salary. Dream position. Everything you've been working toward. You can't just take it. Because selling a house costs you 6 to 10% of the sale price in realtor fees and closing costs. On a $400K house, that's $24,000 to $40,000 just to leave. Unless your house appreciated by at least 10%, which takes years, you're losing money on the sale. Meanwhile, your friend who rents, she gave 30 days notice, packed up, and took the job. Now she's making twice as much. You're stuck in your zip code because you can't afford to sell. But here's the biggest problem with 2026 specifically. Right now, we're at the intersection of all-time record-high home prices and 20-year high interest rates. That is literally the worst possible combination for home buyers. High prices mean you're taking on massive debt. High interest rates mean that debt is crazy expensive. You're not getting a deal. You're buying at the peak with the worst financing terms in 2 decades. And we've seen this before. Remember 2008? People who bought houses at the peak in 2005, 2006, 2007 lost everything. If you're financially stable, plan to stay in one place for 10+ years, can put 20% down without destroying your savings, and the numbers actually work in your market. Sure, maybe it makes sense. But if you're in your 20s or 30s, stretching to afford a down payment and buying in this market just because everyone says you're supposed to, you're making a massive mistake. Here's what you should do instead. Rent somewhere affordable. Invest that down payment money. Invest the difference between rent and what a mortgage would cost. Build actual liquid wealth that you control. In 10 years, you'll be way wealthier than your friend who bought the house. And you'll have something they don't: freedom. If this video made you rethink the biggest financial decision of your life, do me a favor and hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching Finance Unlocked, and I'll see you in the next video.